Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Third Battalion from 8-Bit Co-op, and today I'm bringing you some more Arc Age footage. I'd like to apologize for a couple of things. One, we're having issues with our mic, trying to get everything situated, so the sound may be a little off. Also, there was a problem with frapsing this. There seems to be a delay when you use fraps, so I started the program, and I pressed the button to start fraps, and nothing happened. So I pressed it again. Well, there was a delay, and I saw the red numbers come up, so I was like, okay, cool, it's on. Well, because I pressed it twice, it cut it off. And I wasn't aware of it. I did the first two steps, and then I realized I was not recording. So this is actually the last step before you start construction on the ship. Now, what you see here is me putting my fabric pack. And it was actually a very time-consuming process. It took us 3 days to get what we needed. The cotton was cotton was pain. That's probably going to take most people the most time to get. I named my character Brigade because somehow somebody had already taken Battalion, which is odd, but it is what it is. And you see how slowly you move with the donkey. The packs, when you have a pack on your back, you move really slow, and you actually swim faster on the donkey than you do if you're not using the donkey. So that donkey helps out. I would strongly suggest, if you're playing this, to level up your donkey to level 20 at least, and that way you get the charge, grow some carrots, and get the armor upgrade, at least the feet upgrade, because it increases your mount speed. Okay, my wife comes in on the end here and helps me out with the last little bit of building my ship. Yeah, there she is. It's actually cool that you can actually have more than one person helping you out. When you do the galleon, I've seen somebody building a galleon, and there was like 8 or 9 people helping him, and oh my god, that thing is massive. That is going to take a long time to build, and you are definitely going to want to bring friends when you do something like that. But I've also seen one other ship. Somebody was building, I think it's a fishing vessel. It's actually really cool. You know, as far as games go, I haven't seen anything like this in a game, with the exception of maybe Vanguard, where you get like different types of ships. So that's pretty awesome. And here we go, like a cast off there with the little fireworks, and there is my harpoon clipper. I will tell you this: when you craft something in this game, something that, you know, a project that takes a long time, like a ship or a house, when you complete it, there is no real better feeling than that sense of accomplishment that you get. Because, like I said, this is a long, arduous process of growing trees and getting. I ran out of labor points several times during the process, and that was with my wife helping me. So, if you plan on playing this in your crafter, you got to pay attention to your labor points, because they will hold you up. That, I think, for a couple of hours one day, that is what held us up, because we didn't have the labor points to build anything or do any farming or anything like that. So here goes somebody else on their clipper. I don't know if you could see on the video, another person was building their clipper over to the right of where we were building, and it took us quite a while to actually find this spot, because there were several. I guess everybody decided they were going to build their ships all on the same day, and up and down, I'm actually turning and you can't see it from there, but to the left, all up and down that, there's maybe 12, 13 dry docks, for people building their ships. I mean, various ones. So sailing the seven seas, or the one sea, as it were. Um, I was told that there are wrecks underwater. My wife actually found one. I built her the fins in the scuba helmet, and on the clipper, as you see right there, there is a underwater breathing apparatus that you can equip on, and it lasts for 8 minutes. I was told that there was an upgrade to increase that from 8 to 15, but I have not found anywhere that shows that. It might be something you have to buy on Mirage Isle, but she went exploring and she did find a wreck, but you couldn't do anything with it. But we hope to get some more underwater adventures. We're going to do our next step is working on our underwater farm. I had to take this on the harpoon. That just looks beast right there. Actually was hoping to use that, but it was really late at night when I finished this, so it wasn't much going on. It's actually really dangerous to do to do this because there's a lot of pirates, and you can pirate your own faction, and kill people from your own faction when you're a pirate. So doing all this stuff is a little dangerous. But there was a group of guys out. They had like 4 or 5 galleons and like 6 or 7 of these clippers, and they're called High Sea Sentinels or something like that. And they're an anti-pirate guild, I guess. And they patrol around, and if you're a pirate, they're gonna wipe you out. And I actually thought that was kind of cool because everybody in this game wants to be a pirate. Everybody, oh, I built my ship, I'm gonna go out and start being a pirate. And there are some horrible pirates out there, and there are some very good pirates. But these guys, they have their fleet of ships, and they just sail around, and you can actually pay them to escort your ship. Like, you have an escort quest that I have on here. I'll show you the reason why you want to build your own ship. But you pay them X amount of money and they will escort you. It's and it's pretty reasonable. I think they were saying for 3 gold, 2 of their harpoons, or 2 of the either harpoons or the adventure ships, the ships with the cannons, will escort you, and 5 gold will get you 2 harpoons and a galleon. And nobody's really gonna mess with a galleon. So this is the quest me and my wife had taken. It's one of the trade route quests, and it's one of the most important ones. I think you get the. This is the one to get the large farm, which we had to do to get the so we can build our boat, because we need an area to plant a lot of cotton and some trees. So you have to do this quest, and it's a very dangerous quest because you go through PvP areas. And as you can see at the end of this video, we get yanked by some people that what they do is they stand on the dock and they wait for people to come to turn in their quest, and they just kill you. And they either take your loot or I have no idea what they do. I know they kill you. They prevent you from turning in your loot, which this first step they're forgiving. You get close enough, you'll get credit for completing the quest, but you won't get to turn in and get your Gilda Star, which you need Gilda Stars for houses and the underwater farms and stuff, and you need a lot of them. So, I mean, that's actually a pain when you get, killed like that, but that's what they do. They stand on the dock, and you'll see, and they just wait for people to get close, and then they kill them. And you can get your ship destroyed. And if you get your ship destroyed, you don't lose it. I'm told that you just have to buy something to rebuild it, and it's something like 10 gold to rebuild your ship, which is rather expensive, which is going to deter a lot of people from doing, going out on their own. Now, when we first started playing, we joined a guild. It wasn't Nui Brotherhood. I can't remember the name of it. At any rate, they were like, yeah, we'll take you across the sea, whatever, yada, yada. Now, what these people were doing was they were taking people out to the middle of the ocean. They would charge you, okay, you give me a gold, I'll take you. You give them the gold, they take you out in the middle of the ocean, they despawn your ship. Now, you're in the middle of the ocean with a pack. Now, they'll go, I'll take you the rest of the way, but you got to give me another gold. Either that, or they would just drop you out in the middle of the ocean and teleport back somewhere else, and you'd be stranded out in the middle of the ocean, and you swim so slow. So, I mean, it was kind of a pain in the ass to do it. We're in a much better guild than the one we were previously in. But they were doing that to members that had just recently joined their guild, so it was kind of a d-bag move on their part. But when you have a game like this, things like that are bound to happen. But I still think that's kind of cool to have in a game, to where you can do that. But if people were smart, they would use this as a money making. They can make this very profitable, because you can make a lot of money from doing this. Just transporting people across the sea. The more people you have with you, the more ships you have, the less likely you're going to get attacked. Then you can start charging, like the High Sea Sentinels or whatever their name is. They're actually really reasonable, and I know they're making money hand over fist, because I mean, I see them escorting people all the time. So something to keep in mind if you're playing this and you're going to be playing for a long period of time. Unless you're a really good pirate, it's not going to work out too well for you unless you have a lot of people with you. There are people that hunt pirates down. Apparently, I've heard that you can become a bounty hunter. I don't know how true that is, but if you can, I think that's pretty awesome too. Alright, it's about this time I started getting nervous, because I can see the dock, and I don't know if you can read it in chat, but people were talking about people being on the dock, killing people as they got close to turning that quest. So we were really nervous. That Forbidden Shore, there was also some pirates that were hanging out there, and when people came by, they would chase you down and kill you too. And people were saying that was happening. But some of the Sentinel guys showed up, and I guess they ran those pirates off. But as you can see here, as we get close, at first I thought they weren't going to mess with us, because they didn't do anything right when we got close, and they waited for us to start to get ready to disembark, and they killed our captain there. He was nice enough to give us passage for gold, because we could not find. We spamming on the docks trying to get a boat, and I was like, you know what? If we don't get somebody in the next 2 minutes, I'll just use the rowboat, which I'm glad I didn't, because this was a long trip on a faster ship as it was. So, but yeah, these guys here just chilling by the docks, waiting for people to show up. And we were like, okay, they're not messing with us. They're not going to do anything. And then boom, hit my wife with a fireball. I jumped in the water and tried to hide, to no avail. As you can see here later on in the video, they kill all three of us, and we really don't stand a chance. I was trying, guys. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hang on by. He doesn't see me. And then he went down. I was like, okay, yeah, he sees me. He's gonna come towards the edge. And so I dived down, and I was trying to get under there. Hopefully, I was thinking, if I get under there, he won't be able to see me. But I didn't see his friend that was already in the water, and I tried to fight back. I put up a little fight, and that's all she wrote. We respawn, and like I said, that quest is a little more forgiving than the rest. We did get credit for the quest, but we did not get to turn it in and get our Gilda Star. But you know, it is what it is. This is the type of game this is. The sand park, as it will. But that is why it is imperative that you have your own ship. If you die and you respawn far away from your ship, you cannot unsummon your ship, and they can destroy your ship. Like I said, it is expensive to repair your ship, so when you do something like this, make sure you do it. Try to bring as many people as you can and dedicate to it.